sometimes that nerve, it shifts. So I primarily feel it here, but sometimes it's lower. And so sometimes swallowing or chewing, I get electrocuted. And so I often will say, if I'm going to, get shocked eating, I'm going to get shocked over pizza than salad, because, who wants to be shocked over salad? When this first started, the person that I am today didn't exist. When I was first diagnosed with it and it really sunk in, I was very angry. I had just turned 50. I had lost 20 pounds. I had told myself I was going to have this wonderful next stage of life, and then this happened. And literally went through the stages of grief. I stopped being me for a long time, and I wasn't smiling. I wasn't laughing. I didn't want to be around people anymore. I was in my room, and my wife was in another room.
Because there are sometimes weeks or months that he's struggling with his episodes, and it's hard to connect when that happens, because I can't hug him or kiss him, in the same way that I normally would, because it triggers his condition, his episodes, and which hurts him. I don't want to hurt him. You know what I mean?
Even laughing sometimes, which is kind of the hardest thing for me to see, when he's enjoying himself and just in an instant is interrupted, and it takes that joy away.
This diagnosis changed us.
That's been a hard adjustment of, creating a new normal that's never really ever the same every day. It's different every day.
I know she had plans, and she had goals, and she has ambitions, and that she's going to put those on hold to take care of me. And that's hard. There's just days that she will break down, and she'll tell me what's going on, and then at the same time she's apologizing. I'm sorry, I don't mean to tell you this. I know you're going through so much, and I can't imagine what it's like for her.
The stuff that gets in the way, like guilt, sometimes even loneliness, isolation, because he's not feeling good, he's having to isolate in the bedroom, and I'm in another part of the house. And so being able to have you guys, to talk to, even to, for the support, to have the connection is really important, because, we can explain what our lives are like. We can talk about that with people and friends, and family that live away, but they, will never truly understand until they're here with us long term and understand what that's really like. This, because this has really changed our relationship in some ways. So it's a constant adjustment is happening,
That is really hard, the unpredictability of it. Sometimes it feels like there's nothing wrong, we're like doing everything like we usually do and having breakfasts, and sometimes it's just completely different, and you never know when it's going to be or how long it's going to be for, or what that's, how it's going to impact like what we're doing, as a family. And like that's tough, because sometimes I can almost forget about it, and then other times it comes back, and then it like hits me again, like the reality of everything.
In some ways, talking to my son is the hardest person to talk to, because he reminds me a lot of myself in terms of emotion. He doesn't display a lot of emotion. I will say that my son hugs me a lot more than he used to. And I know that they don't like seeing me in pain. Maybe he's afraid that the father he's going to need when he's my age may not be the same man he grew up with. That man could be in a lot of pain. And I think it's interesting that I'm able to hold it together when I talk about my wife, but I struggle with my kids because I'm their role model. And they look to me for strength. They look to me for guidance. They look to me to be that voice of reason for them.
It's hard because, like, when all this happened, I imagined, like, you guys would get sick or whatever when you're, like, much older, you know? And having to, like, have this on my mind at this age is a little bit challenging because, you know, I just didn't think it was really going to happen, you know? And but it really doesn't change the fact, going back to the, you know, we've been together our whole life and we've been really close, and I don't think I was really going anywhere anyways, and I just want to be close to you guys, and I think if anything, it actually helps us maintain that relationship we have, you know, and I think there's a lot of benefits to it, you know. It's rough, but there's a lot of good things that can come out of it, you know.
I'm more patient. I'm more accepting. I'm becoming more relaxed being me, this new me, because the reality of it is there's nothing that's going to change it. And I can either resist and fight it and be in this place of struggle or just let go.
I remember as a kid, as like the exact moment, like moments when I like realized you guys were humans too, and like you know, like there's a while when you're a kid where you think like nothing can happen to your parents, and then like things happen and you view each other differently, and I think that has played a big role in my relationship with you guys and how it's grown. And yeah, I don't know if it would have developed in the same way if you hadn't gotten your diagnosis, because I feel like we're making time for each other in a way that we never did before. I think we're kind of seeing each other as human in a way that we didn't before.
Even with this, I'm teaching them how to deal with adversity. I'm teaching them how to be more positive while I teach myself the same lesson. I'm teaching them to know that it's okay to hurt.
You know, so there's a lot to be learned from this.
And we're going to keep learning because this is going to be an ongoing journey that we're all in together. So
Yeah.
Definitely.
we'll figure it out. And regardless of the days I'm in pain and the days that I'm not, I'm never going to stop loving my son, my daughter, my wife, my family, my friends. This isn't big enough to take that away from me. This disorder, this pain is so small in the comparison of the universe of love.